Hello everyone and welcome to another Tinfoil stream. Today we have all sorts of fun stuff to look at. We have more Artemis 2 Deniers. We have Wretched Recess discussing Avril Lavigne. Dave Murphy, the guy that drinks the pee-pee, has a video about conspiracies in general, but don't worry, there's no pee in the video. And all sorts of other conspiracy stuff, so it should be pretty fun. Good to see everyone. How y'all doing? You believe the Avril stuff? Oh, Phoenix2250, welcome. Oh boy, Felix, how you doing? Sweet Lily Love, welcome. Terradona, Ken Sister Sue, Brain Squid, Marco, how's it going? Unstable Deadbeat, Bumble Homestead, a Mech Warrior Actual, Nemesaur, how do? Wannabe, welcome in. Zytam, how's it going? Hello, Jay's a Proxy, NB Vulpine, Rick M, Caesar Bishop, Nearest Crowhill, Frey from the A, Mega Guillotine, Sweet Lily Love, Caesar Bishop, I don't know if I said your name yet, Lucas Dawn, and I think that catches us up. Sorry if I missed anyone on Twitch, but welcome. We have all sorts of tinfoil. If you want to support the stream, you can always do so by becoming a subscriber or gifting subs on Twitch. We also have bits for messages that I will read. On YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Helps new people find the stream. And if you're watching the VOD, hype the video, which you can do, I believe, on mobile by hitting the thumbs up, and then there's a hype button that pops up. If you want to support the show, you can become a member on YouTube, Super Chat, or join the Patreon. With all that out of the way, we can jump right into it. We are playing bingo today, so if you want to get your card ready, you can use the bingo command. And I think that's everything. We can jump right in and get into some conspiracy stuff. Maybe we'll start with the Avril Lavigne thing. Carpcosian with the 7-stream streak says, I've thought of a quasi-Doctor Who type character I'm excited to write about. Very nice. Very cool. Alright, so let me turn the music off, and we'll get started with Wretched Recess. There was about 6 minutes of the video before she gets into the Avril Lavigne stuff, just talking about her channel, so I have skipped that. We're just getting right into the conspiracy.
Back to Avril Lavigne.
Oh, she says Avril Lavigne weird. She says it Avril Lavigne. I do not know why. I don't know the lore, but just, I guess, be ready to hear Avril Lavigne a lot.
So when I was in my early 20s and in my concert going days and meeting all the bands that came to town and everything, and just meeting them, besides the one guy, nothing else happened. I was working at a radio station that I did an internship at my senior year of college. And this was a rock radio station at the time. This is the year 2000, 2001. And then after the internship, they hired me. And I'm telling you this because through that, when Avril Lavigne first came on the scene, I was able to get tickets to this radio station event.
Reminder that her first hit, so when she was first getting started, would be in 2002, which I don't know if you guys like math, but that's 24 years ago. So keep that in mind, that she met Avril Lavigne 24 years ago, roughly. Nearest Crowhill, thanks for 57 months of subscription, says, Aloha, Hannah. I have the day off work due to severe storm weather, but it means it's a perfect day to stay in and catch the stream. Hope you're doing well. Chat to remember you're loved and appreciated. I'm doing pretty well. Hope you are too. Caesar Bishop with a 7-stream streak says, I wish she would stop shaking the camera. Me too. She needs a gimbal.
At a different radio station in my city, and it was this acoustic, she did this acoustic singing performance, and you got to meet.
Sorry, I'm just imagining Avril Lavigne doing Sk8er Boi acoustically and trying to get really into it. He was a boy, she was a girl, cannot make it any more obvious.
Meet her. And we got a group.
Some people aren't cut out for MTV's Unplugged
picture. And it was really cool. That was a great experience. But I'm telling you that because the Avril Lavigne that
How old is Avril? Let me look. I'm not familiar with like celebrity ages usually. Avril Lavigne age. Avril Lavigne is 41 years old. Yep.
that I met that day, I said hello. I thought Avril Lavigne was super cute. Just yeah. The Avril Lavigne I met that day would have never have dressed like this ever.
Now I know what you're all thinking. Ma'am, you haven't seen her in 24 years. Do you all dress the same as you dressed 24 years ago? Do you dress the same in your 40s as you did when you were a teenager? Because I know I don't. I'm maybe an extreme example because trans. But most people, and there's nothing wrong if you found your style in your teens and you like it, that's great. But most people, I would say, don't continue to dress the way they dressed when they were teenagers as an adult, especially if they're a music artist and their image is a large part of their marketability. So the image of the artist, whether it's their choice or not, is probably going to refresh every once in a while if their careers continue to give a new, fresh look, get tabloids talking about it, get people to go, oh, that's Avril Lavigne? She looks so different. It could be a marketing thing. It could also just be a genuine choice on her part as an artist to present herself, rather, in a different way that more fits her musical style now. I don't know what she's doing. I've not kept up with Avril Lavigne. But it's just fascinating to me that her first thought is, this person doesn't dress the way they did 24 years ago. It must be a conspiracy. Look at JoJo. JoJo Siwa has been all over the place. I've never been a fan of JoJo Siwa because I was like too old when she came to like popularity. But I'm kind of fascinated with JoJo Siwa's disastrous reboots of her career after she did like the kitty thing, with the bows and everything, and then she tried to be like edgy. That was great. That was very funny when she was trying to be edgy. Do you guys know what JoJo Siwa looked like when she was trying to be edgy? JoJo Siwa edgy. It's like a homeschool kid trying to be edgy, but they don't know what to do. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, back to the topic. Wannabe says, I do. Same style for the last 35 years. God, I'm boring. Nothing wrong with that. I also think it makes a difference depending on your age. Like, if you're in your 50s now, yeah, you might dress the same as in your 30s. It's more extreme when you're comparing your teenage self to adult self, because usually kids are trying new things. They're trying styles that are hip at the time or whatever.
So I want to tell you this because the
knockoff Kiss member, yes, it looks like she raided like a Gene Simmons garage sale or something.
Avril Lavigne I met that day had on the baggy pants, a wife beater, no makeup, not a drop. Came to this event, this fan event, with straight stringy hair, not a drop of makeup. Kind of refreshing, right? Like, just didn't really care, probably just rolled out of bed. Like, that's how it looked. You could see some acne spots on her face, and just gave an acoustic performance that was really good. So there's this big conspiracy that Avril Lavigne was replaced, or this is a clone, or this is a girl named Melissa or something.
Clone on the bingo card. I like that it's either a clone or a girl named Melissa. It can't be a clone named Melissa. Clones on the bingo card. There it is.
Thing like that. And I am here to tell you, I met Avril Lavigne when she looked like this.
Thanks, Phoenix. Yeah, she was like in her late teens, early 20s, depending on what year this was taken.
This is the Avril Lavigne I met. that may have been the same shirt she had on. No makeup, baggy pants, never would, did not seem to have the personality to dress like the picture that we were.
Hold on, I gotta type this.
Just looking at. So,
sorry, Ashley. Ashley said, so if she thinks it's unusual to change your style for over 24 years, I can only assume she's sitting at her computer wearing stuff like this. Oh, it's the Kids' Choice Awards line.
I'm all on board with the theory that that's a completely different person or a clone or whatever, a replacement.
I like that it can't even be like a normal conspiracy, like, oh, she's under some contract and then the label is making her change her style. It has to be like a sci-fi thing. It has to be a clone. It can't even be like an everyday shitty thing. It has to be some sort of magical, weird sci-fi bullshit. Sweet Lily Love says, not only did Avril invent punk rock, she invented the concept of changing your clothing style. Why would clones look different? Haven't you seen Multiplicity? Obviously all the clones have to have different personalities slightly so the comedy can work.
Cannot be the same person. Like, the personalities are just way too different. So I thought I would share that. Hear me out on this one. Hear me out. Axl Rose is one of my top favorite celebrities of all time. So I don't take this lightly, what I'm about to say.
Is she gonna say that she thinks Avril Lavigne is Axl Rose?
Love Axl Rose. Does anybody else ever think about the resemblance that Avril Lavigne has to Axl Rose? Because I've never heard
oh boy,
anybody talk about that. But it's something that I think about, not on a daily basis, but I think about it kind of often. Once I show you this, you're not going to be able to unsee it.
They're not.
Avril Lavigne has the same exact hair color as Axl Rose. It's like the same texture. It's the same, it's the same exact hair. They have the same exact complexion. Their noses are really similar.
Yeah, this definitely counts as transvestigation. We'll count that. Transphobia transvestigation on the bingo card.
Lips are really similar. They're both singers of a band. Like, there's so many similarities. They both wear a wife beater. But here, let's take a look at some pictures. And this is just me
Andrew,
thinking
thanks
out
for
loud.
subscribing on
I'm
YouTube.
not saying there's any kind of proof to this whatsoever, but it's something that I think about. Why does she look so
telling that she can't consider people's personality can change as they age? It is interesting because I've talked about before how she's kind of stuck in what feels like a state of arrested development, where she acts like a middle school or high school mean girl. She's got a really interesting obsession with celebrity, but not just even modern celebrity, like celebrities that were popular in teen magazines in the 90s specifically, like Leonardo DiCaprio.
much like
and
him?
River Phoenix and stuff. It's like she's never grown past that part of her life for some reason.
So, look at Axl's hair, same exact color, same nose as Avril, same
I don't think that is the same color.
lips, same eyes. Literally, I bet you that's a relative or his child. I would be willing to bet.
Okay, so she didn't say that it's the same person, so this is not transvestigation yet. We need to, unfortunately, remove a bingo space. We jumped too soon. Take off that transphobia transvestigation if you marked it on your bingo card. Redacted, or rather retracted, sorry.
Axl with Avril's hair and outfit on. Same wife beater. What do you guys
Did you know that wife beaters are hereditary?
think? I've never heard anybody say
Some babies are just born with them on, like how some babies are born with a full head of hair.
it before, but I can't unsee it. I
It's
think
alright, the wife beater will fall off within a week or so, and then it'll grow back normally after some months.
they look so much alike. And that Avril is a huge compliment. I love me some Axl Rose. Avril Lavigne with some symbolism here. Fake Avril, perhaps. Major difference. Next point, more symbolism. Avril, early 2000s, always with the devil horns. Often with the devil horns.
It's like a rock-on thing! How do you not understand this?
I should say. And if we look closely, we can kind of see the Adonis belt there.
Oh, we might be putting that space back.
See that line right there and right there.
Yes, satanic. We'll get it in a second.
This person is so petite, it's hard to tell, but that's definitely a little more masculine looking, right?
All right, I'll count that. So we need satanic and we need transvestigation back on there. Transvestigation again and satanic. Wait, where's satanic? There it is. Steve with a Q, thanks for 66 months of subscription, says 66 is a palindrome. It's twice the maximum level of Freemasonry. It's a product of 3 primes. 2 times 3 times 11. I'll keep that in mind during my research.
Posing like this a lot. And I was just Googling like Avril Lavigne conspiracies with the replacement that they say her name is Melissa.
How do we know the name of the fake Avril Lavigne? Like, people have been saying that Paul McCartney's been dead for decades, and we never got to know the clone's name.
Haven't heard about that and you want to read more about it, there's a whole like Wikipedia page designated to this Avril Lavigne replacement conspiracy theory. It's very interesting. It is. It's a good read. And who knows anymore? I mean, there's so much AI now, but they're saying that this is a photo that is legit, that the clone or the replacement wrote her name, Melissa, on her hand. And I guess there's other little hints and clues throughout music and albums and stuff like that. But I haven't done a deep dive on it, just thought I would mention it. Avril Lavigne must live in my mind rent-free, because besides the Axl Rose thing that I think about sometimes, I was listening to this song, I don't know, like maybe in the past year, and it struck me, you know, like a bolt of lightning. Like it just came to me.
Matrix on the bingo card? I missed it. I'll trust you, though. Matrix. That one's almost a free space at this point.
Listening to the lyrics, what if Sk8er Boi is about Avril, but Avril's the boy? So...
No!
Let's take a look at some lyrics, and this is purely speculation on my part, but it's pretty cool if you think about it. Sk8er Boi, of course, is a song from Avril Lavigne's debut album, one of her big hits there. The very first line is already playing mind games with us. He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? That really didn't seem like anything unusual, maybe just kind of
She almost certainly has a crush on Avril Lavigne, which also grosses me out, not because of the age difference. She met Avril Lavigne when she was, I think she might have met Avril when she was a minor, or at least close to it. She's too old to have a crush on Avril Lavigne then, and maybe now. At least she's an adult now, but nah.
Like a lyric that a teenager would think of or something like that, but does it run deeper than that? He was a boy.
I don't think they're the same age. Let me look. How old was Avril Lavigne in 2002? Seems like she was just turning 18 in 2002. I'm uncomfortable.
She was a girl. Can I make it any more
She would have met her at 17?
obvious? Almost like they're kind of fucking with
Not a fan of that.
us. So let me read the lyrics that might indicate that this song is actually about Avril being the skater boy. All of her friends.
Because remember, in that story, she was interning in her like senior year of college for a radio station. So Wretched Recess at that point was a senior in college, and Avril Lavigne would have been 17. Not a fan of that.
Their nose, they had a problem with his baggy clothes. Avril was always wearing those baggy pants and stuff. Like, you know, like
nope,
kind of like
not
boys'
high school.
clothes.
She said college.
Here's the one I love. 5 years from now, she sits at home feeding the baby all alone. She turns on TV. Guess who she sees? Sk8er Boi rocking up MTV. You mean this Avril, who was at the time on MTV? She calls up her friends. They already know. They've got tickets to see his show. She's the rock star. She's the one on MTV.
How is she misreading this? Like, the song is very clear that it's about basically the skater boy who becomes a musician, and also about the girl who denies him, and then in the final verse you find out that the singer of this song, Avril Lavigne, within the story of the song, is now with the skater boy because she accepted him for who he is, right? This is not a complicated song to understand.
She's the one in the concert. Is it a he? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm going with this.
The song says she's backstage.
She tags along and stands in the crowd, looks up the man that she turned down. Is Avril singing about the fact that she's famous now? And, you know, is this a song about the people that snubbed her, that turned her down? It could be. Now he's a superstar, slamming on his guitar. All right, I think you guys get the point. There he is.
I don't know if you
slamming on his guitar. All right, wow, I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you know of any other conspiracies regarding this Avril thing, or if you have any comments about it, let me know. I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to fall asleep like right now. Okay, bye.
You know, it was one of the less offensive videos she's ever done, so I'll give her that. It was still offensive, just, you know, less so. Fennikagami, thanks for 110 stream streak. Appreciate it. Let's see what's next. Oh, this one is bizarre. I'm not so sure about this one. So you remember the other day on the Sovereign Citizen stream when we were watching Dr. Kia Pruitt? She is the one who's a sovereign citizen but also into weird conspiracy theories. This woman who often appears with this guy that says crazy stuff. She had a guy on her stream the other day talking about sovereign citizen stuff. I found his channel, and this is a weird paranoid conspiracy that I picked for a reason. And the reason is I'm kind of shocked. So the gentleman in question is a black guy. He's an African American. He doesn't think so, though. He's into the sovereign citizen Moorish conspiracies. So he thinks he's part of the indigenous population of the United States. In this video, he goes on a diatribe about how he dislikes people from the continent of Africa and seeing, quote, them in his community disturbs him on how he thinks it's a part of a larger conspiracy to collapse the United States. Again, this gentleman is African American, but he doesn't think so, if that makes sense.
So those the African guys they brought over here. African. And our community guys, here they are.
I also want to point out, he's just seeing these people on the street. He has no particular reason to believe that these people are necessarily, like, recent African immigrants. It wouldn't matter if they were. Who cares? But he's just looking at people on the street and assuming that they're immigrants recently from Africa and that they are here to destroy things. Incredibly racist, incredibly bizarre. Nearest Crowhill, what do you want me to look up in the Black's Law Dictionary?
They got them dressed up like us, guys. Dress up like us. Now, I don't hate African men or any other race of people or nation of people. I don't hate them.
Hypocrisy. Okay.
But it's very suspect why they're bringing these guys, men of fighting ages in our communities, and they dressed up like us.
Men of fighting age. Again. Wow.
Could they be doing this for martial law, when they know that eventually that the bomb is about to fall out in America, a recession is about to happen, and when it happens, they got these guys right here ready to put on the streets. They're sleeper cells right now, and this is where they are, guys. That's where they are right there. You guys know, in all my years of being here in Atlanta, I have never seen this happen before, where I've seen these many African men be dropped off in our communities, guys. I've never seen it. I've never seen it, guys. All this is new. And they're blending them in with our people. I've never seen.
Let me see. They don't have hypocritical. What's the closest we have? Hypotheca, a mortgage property in which the debtor was allowed to keep but not alienate the property. Not the most interesting one. Well, there you go.
These African guys dropped off in our communities, guys.
Again, he's just saying this about every black person he sees. Staggering levels of hypocrisy on the bingo card. Sure, he doesn't realize it, but sure.
Yes, never seen it before, guys. This is something to really be analyzed, guys. We need to watch their movements, man. They get up in the morning, they catch the bus somewhere, and they get dropped off right about this time, which is around about
Oh my god, these people are using a bus probably to go to work or something. What a nightmare. People aren't allowed to use public transportation.
What time is it now? About 6:30, 7 o'clock. These guys are dropped off in our community, guys. Look at them. I'm fighting these guys. And these guys are they're not even documented. They're not even documented, guys.
You have absolutely no way to know that. It's like he gets thoughts in his head, and because he had the thought, he assumes it's true.
That is dangerous. They're not documented. These guys are undocumented men in our community, and they're UN property. The police won't bother these guys.
They're UN property?
They get paid from the UN, and they have somewhere to stay. And I can show you guys the homeless right here in Atlanta, of our brothers and sisters that are homeless. You got white folks homeless too.
Oh yeah, he is recording from his car. Recording in car on the bingo card. Recording in car. This guy is scary. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They look harmless, guys. I'm not against anybody wanting to make a better life for themselves and their family. But where are their children and wives? You see that ring on his hand right there?
At home? If he's walking from the bus station or the bus stop from work and he's walking home, his family might be at home. Do you think people take their family to work with them?
A lot of these guys are married. And anytime a married man leaves his family, it's because he means business. Man, hanging out right here. Just so you guys know that these guys are human property. You'll never see the police have one of these guys of any sort. They are not us, and we're not them. For those of you who think these...
I would imagine many of those guys have unfortunately been harassed by the police before.
Our brothers and sisters, you guys are foolish. As the truth is getting out right now that the so-called African Americans were here in America already. And we don't even have the same spirit. These men right here would never be locked up in the prison system. You would never see them at the liquor store drinking. Okay? They don't even go to the same schools we go to. Our spirits are different. Our phenotypes are different, okay? And they know that, but you indoctrinated Negroes don't know that. We are the most foolish and ignorant people on the face of the earth. And everybody know more about who we are than you Negroes fighting against your own brothers and sisters trying to tell you the truth. These people don't like us.
He's a psyop. I think he's a psycho.
These are the ones we were warring with before white people got to America. We were warring with them as Moors. And they brought them back over here because the bottom is getting ready to fall out in America. Too many of us, so-called African Americans, are waking up to our true identity, history, heritage, and culture. Okay,
What's his problem? Very strange, exclusionary, racial supremacist ideology.
Economic reset, a great reset getting ready to happen. They're going to shut this shit down. And they bring in all, just not African men, but men from India, from Iran and Pakistan. They're bringing them all over here. And the
really wants a civil war. I'll count this. That probably counts. Really wants a civil war on the bingo card. It's been a while since we got that. What space is that? Really wants a civil war. There it is, 41.
Thousands. And most of your major inner city in America. They're bringing them here for what? So we can hold hands and sing Kumbaya? You're foolish if you believe that. And it's just so you have any other people that's Americans too, you're not going to escape this wrath either.
Rick, I'm with 100 bits. Do I like conspiracies or not like conspiracies? I find them entertaining. I don't believe them generally.
That's racist!
Oh, well...
That's racist.
Oh, well...
That's racist!
Oops, wrong video. Where did that go?
But that's a secret. It's a secret. And if you guys think that you're going to come over here and my indigenous land, because this land belongs to me, because my ancestors were born here. We sprung up from this land. If anybody would have...
So he's a black guy, but he believes in Nazi white replacement stuff? What level of internalized racism is this? Quite high.
Come on this thread and say that I'm black. No, I'm not black. My skin is a beautiful, copper, ruddy red complexion. I'm not no African American, Negro, colored, any of those bywords and proverbs. Those names were given to us to detach us from our indigenous land, which is America, which America is the true East. Upper and Lower Egypt, Kemet, Jerusalem. We spell the word Jerusalem, you got USA right smack dead in the middle. You heard that from me first.
I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Jerusalem in the middle has USA, so Jerusalem is in America. Okay.
And these people know
That's probably incorrect word etymology as evidence. We'll count that. Incorrect word origin as evidence.
know. That's why they all come here, because this is the land of milk and honey. And they want our honey and want our milk, and they want to take it from us. But the ancestors are here.
If this is the land of milk and honey, I'll stay in Egypt.
And you guys are in trouble. You're going to see something
Jesus
that's going
Christ.
to scare the living daylights out of you. To think you'll come over here and take what's ours when the 100-year lease is up
Wow, he's fucked.
on our indigenous land. And for you ignorant Negroes that come over here and run your damn mouths, you should know that the name African has been taken off of our birth certificate. That name has retired because the 100-year lease is up. America's true east. This is the ancient land. The land that's bountiful for everything that the world wants. They come here and we ship everything, our produce and everything, to the other nations. You all better wake up and
Wait, what?
everything to the other nations.
We ship everything, our produce, and everything to other nations. U.S. is not typically a net exporter. That's kind of interesting. Hydrate.
You all better wake up and wise up.
So I just thought that was interesting. Very bizarre, self-destructive thought patterns. Hope he's able to get some help. I do not know if he's going to be able to back off that belief system, though, because he is very clearly deep, deep in it. So, anyway, moving on. Let's try this out. This is about, I think, Indigo children and stuff. Orion Cooper, thanks for 31 months on YouTube of membership, says that was something. It sure was. Felix says this is him. Yeah, works for Republican race bullshit, too.
Find your spot. Thanks, Liz. I love you, I know.
Certain U.S. crops are, but I'm talking like in totality of U.S. imports and exports.
Always wants to be in it. Was his camera ready? Put it up. This is difficult. Come here, just watch. Yeah, go. Stay. Now look up at the
Don't let your dog lick your mouth.
camera. This is my hive. He's part of my hive. Come on, Harley. Harley's part of the hive.
At least we get to look at cute dogs during this video.
Hi, my name is Alex, and today we're going to be talking about the hive mind. Zzz. So today we're going to be talking about gate kids and whether or not gate kids
Uses AI on the bingo card for this photo of the dogs, clearly done in AI.
are a specific frequency
I do not know how old she is. This is the first video I've seen of hers.
or part of a soul group. We've discussed in many of my videos about the GATE program or the Gifted and Talented program, how gifted children often share a lot of similar traits. This can be everything from heterochromia, meaning that your eyes are different colors, or you have a ring of brown, for example, in the middle, and then maybe a ring of green or blue on the outside. You could also have eyes that are two different colors, but usually there is some sort of eye abnormality.
I'm sure many of you know this, and I've brought this up before, but in terms of like the Indigo children type conspiracies, most of the time it's an alternative explanation for children that are not neurotypical. So like children who are ADHD or autistic, in woo-woo communities will sometimes often be labeled as indigo children or similarly named groups that say, oh, they're not just like neurodivergent, they're secret hybrid alien children sent to the planet to enlighten us all. It's pretty obnoxious.
Another thing that is
I say that as someone who is neurodivergent myself.
common among
Really can't stand the indigo children thing.
the GATE kids, at least in my community, is that many of them are firstborn, many of them are RH negative, many of them are neurodivergent thinkers, many of them have heterochromia, as we mentioned, and a lot of them grew up also to have substance abuse issues. So were those substance abuse issues and the
Oh my God, I'm an indigo child.
The inherent psychic senses, all because of this program that we were all in and the testing that was done on us.
What chromia? Heterochromia. It's when you have different color eyes, like one eye might be blue, the other might be brown or some other color.
As children, was that some sort of activation to create those psychic abilities? Or were we born with them? And the reason we were targeted and put into these programs in the first place is because someone was interested in conditioning or programming what we did with these abilities. So today I want to talk about a book that is near and dear to my heart. This book is called Journey of Souls by Michael J. Newton. And this book changed everything for me.
Would I rather be an alien hybrid or a fae changeling? Fae, 100%.
I actually read this book long before I ever started having memories of being in the GATE program, and long before I even realized there was a connection between my psychic abilities and my experiences as an adult and also as an
Hey, Cripple
child.
Punk. I'm doing well. How are
Long
you?
before I ever knew there was any kind of connection between GATE and then my life experiences now. But I read this book in 2017, which was right around the time that I was getting sober and I was taking my sobriety seriously. Because it's one thing to say that you're not going to drink for a couple months or you're only going to drink once a week. And it's another completely different thing to say that I'm making a vow of sobriety and I'm not going to drink for...
Is she talking about GATE, like gifted and talented education? Yes, but she's more talking about it in the conspiracy way that there's like a secret program where they took some like special kids, like kids with like special gifts or whatever, and took them in, I think, into the military.
Minimum a year, but
like a secret program type thing.
I'm going to stay sober.
Not just actual like education, you know, stuff.
As long as I can. And most people don't realize the impact that substances like alcohol and Mary Jane and...
You see Blue Beam on the bingo card? Is that related to this? No. Project Blue Beam is a conspiracy where conspiracists believe that the governments of the world are going to fake an alien invasion in order to build justification to create a one-world totalitarian government.
And other substances have on your mental health and your psychic abilities. So even if you're only doing it casually, like once a week, that can still have a profound effect on dampening those senses and robbing you of your full potential. The thing that I heard a lot when I was in the program, I was in a 12-step program when I was getting sober, and the thing that I heard from a lot of people a lot of the time was that it takes 6 to 12 months for your brain just to go back to what we would consider normal. So to essentially stop crying all the time and stop being emotional and stop being irritable and all the other withdrawal symptoms that we have from drinking alcohol and using other substances that we may not even realize is because of those things. So it takes a long time for your brain.
This is why you should separate spirituality from AA. She does actually, I noticed when I looked at her channel, she has videos criticizing 12-step programs as well. Like she criticizes parts of AA as well, I think.
To get back to its normal functioning. And for me, it took a year and 8 months till I started to have control over my dreams again. And I started actually having lucid dreams nearly every night. And I did end up relapsing and using those things casually after certain periods of sobriety. And I lost my ability to dream and my psychic abilities when I was drinking.
I got an intense craving for tacos. I think, chat, I'm gonna go get taco stuff after stream and make tacos tonight.
And using Mary Jane again.
It's Taco Friday.
And I did it for about 3 years.
You've never had a lucid dream before? It's fun.
Casually.
I've had a few.
And then quit recently, like a year and a half ago. Actually, it's been closer to a year and 4 months. And I still have not got back
I'm gonna make white people tacos.
Full lucid abilities that I once had during much longer periods of sobriety. So I just wanted to put that out there. And I think that has something to do with the frequency of GATE kids. And I'd be so curious if anybody else has had those types of experiences where you have psychic abilities, but when you use certain substances or you try to have like a casual lifestyle, like a lot of other young adults who casually partake in these things, if that robbed your ability to have more lucid dreams or astral experiences on a
That has nothing to do with your whatever you want to call it, your indigo children thing, your woo-woo thing, your neurodivergent thing. This is a thing with alcohol and marijuana generally. They dampen your ability to have dreams altogether. If you drink regularly or smoke weed regularly, you will have less vivid and less common dreams. If you're an alcoholic like I used to be, I didn't have dreams for years because I was just blacking out every night, basically. So I find it interesting that she's understanding her struggles through the lens of the Indigo Child starseed thing, instead of seeing it through specifically the lens of, like, this is a substance abuse issue and is specific to that abuse, not specific to you as a person, necessarily. Orion Cooper with the $5 super chat says, put some queso and salsa on the tacos.
regular basis, not just like the occasional
I
astral
do like queso.
dream. I'm talking about like every single night you are like knee deep in the spirit world and you're very aware of your psychic abilities and how to control them and how to be in control of your mind and what and who is in your field, and also your experiences, like what is manifesting around you. Because again, like I said, I realized that when I took time off.
Oh, Hannah mentions cheese on the bingo card. Oh, fuck. Did a bug just fly into my fucking Coke Zero? This was my last one, you dick. I literally think I saw a little fly just like, bloop, and there was a noise. That fucking prick. Let me use a light and check. You better not have, you motherfucker. I can't see. Wow, they really don't want you putting a light in this thing. It's so dark, I can't tell. Maybe the acidity will melt the bug anyway, and I won't notice. Spongy Lord says, I use weed to solve a lifelong recurring night terror dream. Works like a charm. It's a lifesaver for my sleep. Oh, nice.
Off from my sober journey.
Is it cheese or Blu-ray? Cheese. Let me get that real quick. Hannah mentions cheese on the bingo card. Pour it in a cup. That would probably make sense. Hannah mentions cheese. There's Blu-rays. There's cheese.
It actually kind of dampened my psychic senses. Like I still had them, but not to the full potential that I had during longer periods of sobriety. So anyways, as I was saying, I think that this is part of a soul group. And this book that I read called Journey of Souls is a book that I picked up when I was sober. So when I could appreciate the book and actually get through it and actually focus on reading this book. And this book is incredibly interesting. This book was about a guy, Michael Newton. I don't know, I think he was a hypnotherapist, but he put a bunch of people under hypnosis and he would talk to them about what happened after they died, what happens to the soul after we die. And the way he explained it was that they're entering, when they're in that hypnotic state, they enter into like the super conscious, which I call the collective conscious. Carl Jung.
If I had a time machine, don't get me wrong, if you have one use of the time machine, you go and you pay a visit to baby Hitler. I totally get that. But if you have at least two uses of a time machine, Carl Jung might not be the worst second person to visit.
Also talked about this collective conscious. So it's also referred to.
Sorry, I'm just tired of the collective unconscious stuff from all these conspiracy theories.
As a quantum field. So it's like where everything exists. Even Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill mentions that concept of a collective conscious.
Napoleon Hill.
People become millionaires because they reach a certain frequency in this collective consciousness where they can pull from
Marcel loves Napoleon Hill, by the way.
from that field, and they can pull and reach for those $1 million ideas. I've even heard somebody on my channel talk about how they've had vivid dreams of writing songs and then seeing their songs stolen from other people, and those people become famous and get the credit for it.
Wow, crazy that they never have the songs written down with proof that they wrote them down before someone else had them. It's almost like there's no evidence that's true.
In the waking life. And I actually think there is something to that.
New Shine Dark says, would you kill baby Hitler or take him and raise him the right way? I'm not fit to be a mother, but if it makes you feel that bad, I can go back in time and just kick Hitler's dad in the balls really hard. That would also work.
Because I think there is a collective conscious field, and I think that if we're not really cognizant of our frequency and we don't know how to control our energy, and we're participating in the daily normal lifestyle of the average American, which includes pharmaceuticals, for a lot of people, alcohol, caffeine, medication, Monster, energy drinks, vaping, nicotine, all sorts of substances that mess with your mind and your ability to be in certain brainwave states, so you can naturally pull from these, and more importantly, so you can control what happens in your dream world. Because another interesting thing is that I don't know where I heard this, but somebody had told me that the elite or secret societies, typically they don't drink at all because they know.
Oh, someone told you that? That's crazy. Some random person said a thing and you just were like, yep, that's probably true. Don't need to check that. Rich people drink. What are you talking about? Not every person uniformly, but plenty of rich people drink. What are you talking about?
To the mind and your manifestation abilities. I don't know if that's true or not. That is just, I'm trying to remember where I heard it. I did hear that. So take that one with a grain of salt, but I would believe it if they don't drink at all, because I've noticed firsthand how powerful humans are and the potential that we have and what happens.
Did I make sure the cola was clean? I'm risking it. I'm just risking it. Life is full of risks. Sometimes you get a bug in your cola. You just gotta live. You gotta live life. Lilac Rosenberg says, more men kidnapped by dolphins to build the underground city.
This is so funny. A man...
Yes, I have heard the dolphin kidnap stories.
This is so funny. A man has gone super viral after claiming to be kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city for them. Now dolphin experts have weighed in, the police have got involved, and the internet has had a field day, generating enough memes to power an entire dolphin metropolis. So what is going on here? We have the full story and all the funniest reactions and memes right here, as always, on Scroll Deep with me, Benedict Townsend, the show that...
Alright, I don't want to watch this whole video because that's this guy's content and I'm not disagreeing with him, so I don't think that would be fair use if I'm not disagreeing and commenting.
Happens when we live in the world that we do, where a lot of our habits and things that are normalized actually are taking away from those natural psychic abilities. So all of that to say, we're talking about this book and how when everybody's in the hypnotic state, they tap into the collective conscious. So they start explaining in the book all the things that have happened to people when they have passed away. People start remembering.
All right, I think I've had enough of her. She's a little slow-paced. What shall we do next? How about the Q guy? Let's do the Q guy.
I have problems with YouTube. YouTube doesn't really let me.
Oops, sorry. There we
Hi,
go.
Ellie Weber. Welcome back to our channel, my dear family and friends, brothers and sisters. We are...
You have a friend that's in a cult. Is there any way to help him? Do you know anything about the cult? Like, what's the cult like? What's their... If you could, like, give me a little bit about their belief system. It won't affect the answer much, but I am curious, and it might help. So, can you tell me a little bit about what the friend says about the group? How they got into it? Anything like that? I'm definitely not an expert on this, by the way. I'm not like a person who has any expertise at that. I could give you what I know, but...
Are winning. We are in the storm. This is the biggest war that ever took place in the history of humanity. And we basically have won. You can see it in the news. If you look at the regular news, you don't even have to go to Telegram anymore. We're winning. We have won. Do not feel discouraged.
Can we do a bingo check before we get into the next video? Sure, we can do a quick bingo check. The Matrix, satanic, really wants a civil war, transphobia, incorrect word origin as evidence, clones, uses AI, recording in car, Hannah mentions cheese, and finally staggering levels of hypocrisy.
In any way. This is the storm, okay? We knew about this. We knew this was coming. Please like and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, check out all the products, the cool products below. If you got the ouchie from Dr. Fauci, man, check out ASEA and Life Waves, man.
Did you get real medicine? Buy my fake medicine.
These things will help put you back.
Shilling scamming on the bingo card. Shilling scamming.
Reset your DNA. We have a war to win. And
reset your DNA. Wow, I didn't know you could do that with a drink.
We're going to walk.
That almost feels like it's a health claim that should be evaluated by the FDA.
Walk into a new age, 1,000 years of peace, unbelievable prosperity. I want to just discuss basically I just want to remind you of how well we're doing, because this is victory, man. We're just about to claim the trophy. The enemy is about to surrender, and a lot of people are feeling discouraged. I just want to give you a little bit of an insight into what's really going on, and let's rock.
Not sure if I totally get that opening, but okay. We get it. You found some inspirational music.
So I see a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people. Thank God people still.
Yeah, Izzy, he's Jewish.
Will talk to me, and a lot of people. I communicate with a lot of people. I have problems with YouTube. YouTube doesn't really let me, doesn't let me succeed in the ways that I think I should be able to succeed. But it's not about me. It's about us. It's about we have won the war. You have to understand, the Matrix is just a game. It's a monopoly game. And it's like we're sitting here going, oh no, I can't make my car payment. Oh no, park.
Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism on the bingo card. Ken Sister Sue, thanks for 5 months of subscription, says thank you for all the entertainment you provide. Well, thanks for watching it. I really appreciate it.
Place is too expensive. The other guy is winning. It's a monopoly game, man. And at some point, each and every one of us, actually, I believe it's already happened in your mind.
We did already have Matrix on the bingo card.
In the inner deep recesses of your heart, you've already said, I'm out. This is a Matrix. It's make-believe. Janet Yellen is telling you owe so much money. You owe so much money to your credit cards. You owe so much money to your mortgage. Really? They owe trillions of dollars, and we're about to. Where do they get their money? Where do they get their money? They earn it? They work hard. They steal it. Steal it from us. They're cheaters. They're
accidentally based on the bingo card, assuming he's talking about wealthy people in general. We'll do tentatively accidentally based. At least you'd think it wouldn't turn into an anti-Semitic conspiracy, since he himself is Jewish, right?
Liars. They're not.
Oh no, he's talking about the government. Okay, not based then. Remove accidentally based.
They're changing the rules every 2 minutes. So let's just take the monopoly board and just say, you know what, man, I'm out. You don't have to make a big deal. You don't have to go protesting down in Washington, D.C. It would be nice if you do that. I'm missing a big protest today because I feel I can do more good from here. But the point is, we've already won. It's not a matter of what you do or how much money you owe, or, whether or not the bank's really going to reclaim your property. It's nothing. That's just a game.
No, he's not talking about no kings. This is actually an older video from him when Biden was still president. He's a Trump supporter. So when he's talking about going to DC and protesting, he's talking about protesting against the Biden administration.
The world is about to reclaim the currency. We're going back to gold and silver. The whole fiat currency is Janet Yellen said, by June 1st, if we don't get the debt ceiling raised, it's toast. They're toast. The bad guys, the people who keep changing the rules, the people who are cheating, they're like taking the extra monopoly money. It's time for us, in our minds, in our hearts, to leave the matrix, to leave the shame. There's no shame, man. There's no way you could have paid your bills. You're saying, oh, well, everybody else is paying their bills. I just can't make it. I spent too much on potato chips last month. I mean, I love potato chips, but it's not about that. These people have been cheating from the get-go, and this is all a fake Babylonian system. The money is not real. It's monopoly.
Do we have America as Babylon on the bingo card still, or did we remove that? Because I know that used to be a space, America is Babylon. It's less in favor these days, but it's a slightly older video, so...
money. So why are we wasting our precious time on this incredible planet with this incredible opportunity? Where the sun is shining, the trees are growing, it's spring, early summer. I'm walking on the beach every day. I'm collecting sea glass. To me, it's more precious than diamonds. It's beautiful. I'm a rich man. I have a nice piece of sea glass. I mean, that's where it's at. Just take the monopoly board in your mind. If you still have to go to a job, I'm not saying you should just run away and everything. I mean, I have. I don't have time for the matrix, man. I have a world to save. We have a world to save. You want me to spend hours?
Feels like the kind of guy that was like a hippie back in the day or something, but then he grew up and for some reason got into Trump stuff and QAnon. Very weird.
Hours of time filling out forms and making phone calls and being on hold. That's Babylonian magic BS. I'm not in, man.
I'm sorry, being on hold is Babylonian magic? You'd think they'd get better hold music then.
I'm taking the whole board, the whole fake board, Janet Yellen and everybody else and all these other...
Is he homeless? How does he have a place to live if he doesn't pay taxes, bills, mortgage? He is not homeless. I think... he tends to try and live as off the grid as possible. In his more recent videos, you can see him in the middle of constructing a property somewhere. I'm not sure where, but he's building something somewhere. Or he thinks he can probably be kind of off the map. I'm not sure, though. Oops.
Criminals, Georgie S. and all these banksters that have been polluting and destroying and stealing our money, stealing our time, indoctrinating our kids. I'm taking the board and I'm just saying, I'm out. I'm not playing this stupid game anymore. I want to live like a human being. I am connected directly to source. I don't need this. I don't need your monopoly money, man. I don't need your games. I don't need your theft. I don't need
Can I have your monopoly money then?
Your phony medicine that's designed to hurt you. I don't need phony education that's designed to make you dumb. I don't need your phony banksters that are stealing our money. They're raising the gas prices. Your 401k is worth less and less every day because the money...
I wonder how he feels about gas prices now that Trump's in and the prices are up.
He's not worth it. Don't worry. I mean, I believe in the end your 401k will be okay. I think the good guys have our back. But the point is, it's not even...
That's very funny that he thinks there's going to be a complete societal reset, but don't worry, your 401k is set.
About that. It's just to free yourself. Free yourself from shame. Free yourself from the demon of doubt. Know that you're not the only one.
I'm wearing a dinosaur onesie on the internet. I haven't felt shame in over a decade.
And once we wake up as a planet, once everyone realizes, hey, man, I don't have to be afraid anymore. There's nothing to be afraid of. The bad guys are gone. Once we realize that, man, nothing can stop what's coming. They can't defeat all of us. That's why they wanted so desperately with the ouchie to take us down, to reduce our number.
Pretty sure in America, the majority of people got vaccinated. And they're fine. I was vaccinated and boosted many times. I'm fine.
But we're not doing it, man. We're not playing by their rules. We're not playing this game. We're playing the real game. The real game is it's a godly world. You're connected to source through your thoughts, through your inspirations, through your love. And that all we have to do is, I mean, our Rebbe said it very simply, just think good and it.
Profane Priestess says, my guy, if you think things were bad under Biden, they were. Wait until the AI bubble pops and the consequences of Iran closing the strait finally comes. The inflation and economic crunch will be worse than Biden. If we ignore the delusional stock market, we're already fucked. The dollar's down, our economic and diplomatic relationships are on fire, and inflation is a trending upward.
It is good. If you want to be afraid, man, okay. If you want to go through that, you're.
But have you considered the other person had a bad laugh?
You know, it's a free choice universe. You're allowed to be afraid. You're allowed to spend your day in fear and doubt and worry. You can do that. Or you can just say, hey, man, I'm not playing that game. This is a beautiful planet. I have beautiful children. I have beautiful friends. If you don't have beautiful children, beautiful friends, go get some, man. There are lots of peeps out there that are looking for you, that have been waiting for you to come into their realm. So I would say, just have the best day. That's really the best revenge. Just enjoy your day and smile and go forward and don't worry. Don't let them worry. Their system is about to be destroyed and you're worrying about paying their bills. I mean, you know, if you want to worry about it, fine. I mean, I'm not criticizing you. I mean, we've been trained for years. We've been brainwashed by the media, by the doctors, by the lawyers, by all this confusion and chaos. And it's like, it's too big for me. I can't figure it out. You know why you can't figure it out? Because it don't make sense, man. It's a bunch of confusion. It's a bunch of nonsense. God's laws are simple. You don't hurt people. You do the right thing. You don't worry about money. It's money.
Those aren't God's rules.
Money's just
depends very much on which text you're reading, I guess, of course, but there's more rules than that.
A creation.
And even the don't harm people has lots of addendums.
It's like, you know, it's not, money is not evil. It's just if it makes you worry all the time and you got to, you know, you have to, and you're suffering, then, you know, you got a choice, man. I mean, worry about it or not worry about it. I'm just saying, you know, the bottom line is we're coming into 1,000 years of peace. We're coming into an economic system that'll be amazing. We'll all have prosperity, all the things, just
the legendary quantum financial system that no one has ever explained.
Think about it. You all know what Rockefeller did with the medical situation. We don't need their cures. We have holistic medicine. We have, you know, we have ASEA. You can get ASEA. You can get Life Waves.
Hydrate.
You can get all kinds of natural cures. You can get pine needle tea. Whatever it is, man. You don't need the doctors. You don't need the...
I've never once been around pine needles and thought, man, I bet these would taste good if you dunked them in water.
Lawyers. You don't need the system.
Not a big pine person, though.
We don't need Janet Yellen to tell us that, you know, that the money is worthless. So I say, man.
What are you talking about? I buy everything with money. Goods and services. You use the money and then you get the thing. After stream, I'm going to go to the store near me and I'm going to buy a pound of meat and tortillas and some shredded cheese. And then I'm going to give money for that, and then I get to take those products home and utilize them in whatever way I best wish, right? It's money! You use it to buy goods and services and service debts. What is money if not that?
Take the Monopoly game and say, you know, you don't even have to throw it up. Just say, you know, I really don't feel like playing this game today. I want to like really enjoy my day because I'm a piece of God itself and I have a choice. I could play the game. Maybe I'll get Park Place, you know.
Mana Trapped in the Matrix confirmed. I'll say this, if the Matrix was like a real thing, like if I was in the Matrix movie, I'd 100% be that dude who wanted to get put back in the Matrix because of the juicy steak and whatnot. Was the name Sk8er? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if a life of struggle in a weird post-apocalypse is worth it.
Maybe I'll get...
Especially considering when you watch the Animatrix, you find out that the war started because of the humans, so...
New York Avenue, maybe if I roll the dice, maybe if I invest in this, I could still be like the rich dude. No, you can't be. You know why? Because they're cheating. They got the rules. They change the rules every 2 minutes with their Babylonian magic tricks and their Babylonian laws, their confusion, with their ability. I mean, you saw what they did with the selection process in Arizona. You see what they did. It's coming down. So if you want to see proof of what I'm saying, go to the Gateway Pundit, go to Breitbart News. You don't need
Please don't go to those sites.
Telegram
Juggle, will do.
They're all about to be impeached. They're all probably have already been arrested anyway, and we're going to have tribunals. You're going to get to publicly see them being executed. But I say, why wait? Why wait for it to be public? You could enjoy the day now. All you have to do is take a deep breath, go outside. I like to take my shoes off, man. I like to walk barefoot on the beach. It just makes me feel good. You know why? Because I'm connected to godliness, and so are you. It's not like I got the dibs on it, man. You guys have to sweat it out in 3D while I'm living the life in 5D.
Profane Priestess says, to be fair, I don't think Harris would have been great in the sense that laissez-faire economic liberalism and the accompanying gutting of our social safety net, as well as ignoring climate change and things like the opioid crisis in favor of capital interest, is what we got here, but I don't think she would have been this bad. Everyone knew anything about anything, knew this war was inadvisable, and anyone with sense knew, I don't know, I think that was a typo, knew something our soft power would accomplish nothing good. I think she would have been much, much, much better. I would give her more credit than you're giving her, but yeah. Ashley One Up says, I know that this slice of cheese is fake, and when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain it's buttery, sharp, and delicious. You know what I say to that? Ignorance is bliss.
Could all have this. We could all have a great life. It's just a matter of saying, you know what? I'm not really into the Matrix today, man. I'm not going to worry about my bills. Really? I'm worried about my bills to a system that's about to collapse. I'm worried about paying my credit. I'm going to pay my credit card bills, really? After they stop with the interest rates? That's illegal. Anyway, all debts are going to be forgiven.
What are you talking about? The interest rates that credit card companies charge are exorbitant and immoral, but they're not illegal.
Given under
torching our soft power. Makes sense. I got it from context.
Believe it. If you don't believe it, this is the real reality. You got to work on yourself. I mean, you can stay in 3D. You can stay in the fear space. I personally believe there's a possibility. One of the timelines is that some people will stay in 3D, stay in the fear space. They just can't imagine how good it is on the other side. But a lot of us are going to just say, you know what, man? I'm not in, man. I want to enjoy this beautiful existence. I have a soul. I have a body. I have beautiful things to do. I have lots to do, man. I have beautiful food, beautiful organic food to eat. I mean, I cook my own food. I don't really trust other people. It's not that I don't trust. It's just that I like normal food. I like to eat beautiful organic vegetables and, I mean, meat that's not poisoned with all that other good stuff. Anyway, I don't mean to rant, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to have a bad day, you're thoroughly capable, and it's not against the law. You're welcome to be miserable. But if you want to taste freedom, if you want to get into the 5D space, just say, I'm out, man. I like the Matrix. I see what it is. I know the demon of doubt. You want me to feel ashamed of myself because I didn't measure.
Yeah, chemical fear mongering on the bingo card for the food thing.
Up, and I didn't make a lot of money in the stock market, and I can't pay my bills, and you can have that kind of life where you can say, you know what, this is a dying system, man, and it's just a matter of weeks before it's going to be official. So why wait? Have a great day today. May the force be with you. May God bless and protect you, and let's get out there with a big smile and rock the world.
Trump supporters who like Star Wars are very confusing to me. I fundamentally do not understand what you see in the original Star Wars trilogy if you are also a political fan of Donald Trump. It's very confusing. Anyway, Do I have any notions as to why people like this guy who ostensibly have a religion that's supposed to give them purpose seem to eagerly be searching for purpose? I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't enough for him. Maybe the people around him all shared the same beliefs, and he wanted to feel like he had some insight into some secret knowledge, so he carved out a place where he has all sorts of woo-woo conspiracy beliefs that also overlap with his religious beliefs. I'm not sure. Here's a video from, what is it called? Oh, why am I blanking on the name of the conference? They say it in the video. It's a conspiracy conference, basically.
How are you feeling about the Conscious Life Expo this year?
Conscious Life Expo, that's what it is.
This is probably one of the best ones they've had yet. And just the energy, I think this year is so much better. Not that it was bad last year, it was actually awesome last year, but it's so much better this year. I think people are really connecting and vibing, and I mean, it's not as chaotic, I think, also. It seems like there's a steady stream of energy, but yeah, it's been great. I mean, I'm just having a great time seeing all my friends, all my Starseed friends, and I call it Starseed.
Crazy that there's so many starseeds at this one place.
Summer camp.
When would you say that you dropped out of the Matrix?
You guys actually have this amazing t-shirt that says Matrix Dropout. That was the first t-shirt I ordered because I did have to literally drop out of the Matrix. I would say I dropped out completely in 2019 when I retired from my 3D government job that was so toxic. I was a wreck emotionally and physically.
I'm so curious what that government job was. I hope it wasn't important.
But I just told my husband, I came home and I said, this is the date, March 31st, 2019. I used to work for the health department in Colorado Springs. And
you know what? I'm glad she left in 2019, if you know what I mean. That's probably the best time for her to leave any position regarding public health.
I just said, this is the date I'm going to retire. And I purchased time so I could retire 2 years early. And my husband thought I was nuts because he said, we're not going to have any income. I said, I'm not worried about the damn income, okay? I'm worried about my health, you know, so.
And your soul, your mission.
And your soul and my mission, you know, so that's what I did. And 6 months later, Gaia TV called me and had me on their first interview on Beyond Beliefs. So the universe was already opening up for me. So it is important to make that leap, you know, like it's, you know, you don't have to be stuck at a job you don't like or that's, you know, treating you bad or toxic or you're not getting paid enough, you know, so yeah, that was my out from the Matrix, and I haven't looked back. I mean, life's been amazing since.
Do you ever speak to your inner child?
Yeah,
A little bit?
Of course I do, yeah.
Okay, and you know, when we're children, I feel like we're born with this innate knowledge that maybe we like lose as we go through conditioning and social pressures. Mm-hmm. Do you think that there's something you knew as a child that you're remembering now?
There was a lot of missing time from my childhood that I think I was actually on board starships. So honestly, I don't remember.
Of course, if you don't remember every moment of your childhood, you must have been abducted into space, obviously.
Much of my childhood. I remember bits and pieces like with my parents or my siblings, but there's a lot of missing time. And I think I was in either other dimensions. You know, maybe back then I didn't, you know.
Ma'am, have you looked up the symptoms of CPTSD?
Want to remember or couldn't remember, but I see that's very common with a lot of my clients. Like a lot of my clients, a lot of them come to me because they're starting to remember.
Bumble Homestead with 50 bits says, my inner child, where's our fucking pony?
Missing time.
See, as a child, I didn't want a pony. Horses are scary. Ponies are just tiny, scary horses, but tiny.
Time that they were on board starships or, you know, having alien encounters and, you know, they don't necessarily remember all the details, but they know something had happened. And so usually I'm able to access the Akashic records and see what that is and maybe fill in with some details.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
what is something that people aren't maybe ready to hear?
Can you check off bad parenting? No.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this out there,
Okay,
and
yes.
I'm probably gonna get a
So
lot
it's
of
not the size of the horse that's actually scary? The size is a part of it. The size is definitely a part of it. Ponies are just still too big. Or aggressive. They're aggressive animals, I've heard.
hate for it, but
All that cutie mark shit is propaganda for ponies. They're real assholes in real life.
not all reptilians are evil or bad.
When I was a kid, we had a neighbor nearby that had ponies. I saw them. Don't like them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not all evil or bad. I've known this from the beginning because I have seen in the Akashic records a lot of my clients. I wouldn't say a lot, but some of my clients do have reptilian.
Yes, reptilians on the bingo card. Glad we got that today. Reptilian. Reptoids.
Guides.
Okay.
And it doesn't mean they come from a negative reptilian faction. There was actually quite a few Syrian reptilian beings that did.
Thoughts on this pony? Creeps me out, to be honest. Creeps me out. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I get it. I don't think this pony would hurt me necessarily, but it viscerally creeps me out. I do not like it. It weirds me out. Is this another butterfly thing for me? Why do I not like... No, I don't like that pony. No disrespect to that pony. I'm just gonna stay away from it.
Turn to the light, and they're amazing healers. You know, they have reptilians when they're in their dark mode tend to be destructive beings. They can be very destroyers, but when they're in their light mode, they become rehabilitators and activators, you know, of DNA, and they have amazing psychic abilities. Like usually when I've done readings for some.
A kid brought a pony to my school when I was in high school. They brought a pony and it shit on the floor.
Reptilian starseed clients, they know they're reptilian and they're not ashamed of it. You know, they don't advertise it, you know, but they usually know who they are and where they come from, more so than maybe some other starseeds. Yeah, so I'm just throwing.
If you send it, I'm not going to look at it, Social Warlock.
That out there, you know.
Terrible.
I think our evolutionary path is to integrate actually the light with the dark,
right.
and that we are going to start making alliances with some of these so-called malevolent beings.
That there's like facets and different sides to each species and race.
Oh, absolutely. They're just like us. I mean, there's, you know,
they're good apples and bad apples.
Few bad apples spoil the bunch. But I do find it funny that within alien... How do I explain this? Alien and conspiracy communities about aliens are somewhat more progressive these days because they used to have the whole ontologically evil race thing. Like the reptilians used to be considered all evil, but as sort of the idea of an ontologically evil group of people has gone into disfavor because it's pretty fucked up. Even the conspiracy theorists have started saying, like, oh, not all reptilians. This reptilian is one of the good ones. It's kind of interesting to see.
I mean, same with Pleiadians. Not all Pleiadians are of the light. A lot of people are shocked to hear that, but there are very dark Pleiadians out there that are very deceptive. And a lot of times they'll show up to newbies that are trying to channel and...
Yeah, aliens did it on the bingo card. Aliens did it.
They say, oh yeah, I'm Pleiadian, you know, and then they tell them really bad information, you know. So you do want to be very discerning when you're dealing with beings from higher realms.
And what is something you wish you knew at the beginning of your...
Hannah's just scared of cute things. The bunnies better watch out. I'm just bitter because I'll never have their level of adorableness.
It would have been...
That'll be my superpower. I will absorb the cuteness from other things.
Nice if I knew
I
my
will never sate my need to be adorable.
mission a little earlier. Because I kind of spent a few years just taking random spiritual classes, not knowing where I was, what direction I was going. So I went through that whole process just like everybody else. It was just like, okay, what am I doing? I don't know why I'm doing this, but honestly, even if you're in that self-discovery mode, do know it's going to lead to something. Any encounter, any course you take, any interaction you have is leading you to your higher path. The other thing I would say, I wish I would have known that I was able to heal myself. For a long time, I had a lot of health issues. I know when I first did my first Beyond Belief show, I was 80 pounds heavier than I am now, and I had a lot of comorbidities. Of course, I had, assistance from amazing healers, but if I...
All right. The audio in that one's bothering me, so we're going to move on. We're halfway through the stream, so if you like the stream and want to help support it, consider becoming a member on YouTube using Super Chats, gifting subs, or becoming a subscriber on Twitch, or using bits. All right, what are next? Oh, Dave Murphy. Dave Murphy is trying to raise money for a documentary about his beliefs, I suppose. So in order to try and raise money for this, he has uploaded what he considers to be a teaser for the documentary. He's claiming that this would basically be the start of the documentary. So let's take a look. What's his story?
Well, I was just an ordinary bloke in a Matrix, really. I was...
Matrix is so hot right now.
Living in New Jersey, working in New York at the time. And I was doing what everybody else was doing, working, making money, having a...
He looks like he's on a ship or something with that shirt. Kind of looks like a pirate shirt.
Holiday for 2 weeks of the year, all that stuff.
Or like someone who's on the crew of an old-timey ship.
And then...
He's pretending to be interviewed? Basically, yes.
9/11 happened, and everything changed.
9/11 out of nowhere on the bingo card. Where is that? There it is. Thanks, 9/11.
Why would they jump? Try to keep it out. You can't get out of it.
Well, it didn't change for me immediately. I went back to work and just carried on as normal. But it wasn't until about 2004, about 3 or 4 years later, that I was helping my daughter with her physics homework, and I worked out that it couldn't have happened the way they said it happened.
So you think you debunked the 9/11 narrative with elementary school physics? Maybe middle school physics. Cool.
And the shock of that, basically...
Did you consider asking someone who's better at physics to explain why you're wrong?
Just led me into what's turned out to be a 22-year search for the truth. And it's led me down many, many different rabbit holes. And each one basically... more shocking than the last. And I thought when I found the flat Earth, that was the ultimate truth.
Flat Earth on the bingo card. Let's get that real quick. He just heard the jet fuel can't melt steel beams thing, didn't he? I hope it's not as simple as that.
But as I was researching the flat Earth, I realized that there was an even deeper truth, which was history, human history, and the Old Testament. And again, delving into that, I thought that was the ultimate truth. But then I started to realize that the powers that we have, the who we are, is the even deeper truth.
Awake Video Productions. Little on the nose. All right, though. An allegedly good documentary. That's his production company. Wow. Is that clip art? Did he use clip art for his production company logo? I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Adam's journey across the fourth dimension. The AI-looking people. The cannabis journeys. Should have saved this for the 20th.
So
oh, that's the Survivor theme song? That's obnoxious.
Cannabis journeys, well, I would...
You don't think he's allowed to use the Survivor theme song? I would imagine in his head, because he wants to build this into a full documentary, he's using that like a, what's the word? A temporary, there's a word for it in the industry, but I'm blanking. Basically, temp score, or a placeholder, yes, a temp score, when they're editing certain things in media, TV shows, movies, whatever, before they have all the music done or picked out or whatever, the editor will use what they consider to be basically placeholder tracks that are not the tracks that they're actually going to use in the finalized version of the movie, but they're music that gives the general feel, the tone of what the music is going to feel like, so that they can kind of edit with that in mind, even though they don't have the actual tracks yet.
Being a good boy, I would always, avoid, drugs, but I got fascinated with this idea of psychedelics that somehow expand your consciousness, allow you to see things that you wouldn't normally see in everyday life. But the only problem was that psychedelics didn't seem to work on me. I was going to call myself drug-resistant Dave at one point, but I tried acid and nothing happened. I got a double dose of it and still nothing happened. Same with Salvia divinorum. A double dose of that and nothing happened.
You don't think marijuana is psychedelic? I think sometimes people consider it in high doses edibles to be psychedelic, but you have to have little tolerance, if no tolerance, and it has to be a high dose.
I tried DMT. Well, actually, I tried mushrooms first, psilocybin, and I got some visions, some visuals. It was the flower of life on a blank wall, and writing that was scrolling on the bottom of my consciousness. So I just saw this strange writing, which turned out to be Paleo-Hebrew.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. You'd have no way to test what it was because you can't write it down. It was shit that was in your head on a drug trip, and then later you came across some other script that reminded you of it, and you're like, oh, it must have been that. You did not imagine a language that you didn't know before the event.
Same thing with DMT, wavy lines and the strange writing, but nothing substantial. I even tried ayahuasca, and with ayahuasca I literally blanked out for 6 hours. Apparently I had some experiences, but I don't remember any of it, nothing from that experience. So no, my foray into psychedelics was rather unsuccessful. But I found that cannabis did affect me. Every time I tried cannabis, and not smoking it, actually eating it. Every time I tried cannabis, I got taught something.
As someone who partakes of THC, the kind of people who make weed out to be this magical thing, and they get secret knowledge, and they whatever woo-woo bullshit around weed, They frustrate me. They embarrass me. What are you doing? It's a drug. You're not being taught things by extra-dimensional beings. It's a drug. You are on drugs. Do you know what drugs do? They fuck up your brain. They're drugs. Your brain is fucked up.
It would teach me something about the world which I didn't know before. So in that respect, it was quite mind-expanding. I think I had about 8 different experiences, and the final one, it basically told me not to.
This reminds me, we will be doing a 420 stream this year. I've not decided what we're going to be watching during the 420 stream, but I am planning on one. Gray Freya, thanks for tier 1 3 months in advance, says weed is magic. It makes chores fun.
Not to do it anymore.
And video games. And video games.
I ignored, and I just did it again, and I found out why I shouldn't have done it. It wasn't telling me
Happy almost birthday, Pew Pew Askew.
that I didn't need to do it anymore. It was basically warning me that more exposure to it would leave me open and vulnerable to, let's say, other entities.
Absolutely take the jade pill. You can discover some things about yourself, not about the world at large, though.
So, the first cannabis journey I embarked on.
Have I watched the Darth Maul show yet? No, I have no interest. I'm not a big... I watch the Star Wars movies. I think I'm up to date with the movies. But I don't keep track of all the shows and stuff, especially the animated shows. I'm just not that into Star Wars. I'm a much bigger Star Trek fan. And I'm gonna be honest, Darth Maul is not an interesting character to me. I don't know anything about the expanded lore stuff and TV shows he's been in, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a Boba Fett situation where people just thought he looked cool and then decided to do a bunch of stuff with him because he had a cool aesthetic. I don't really care about Darth Maul.
Where I was given cannabis in a bong. So yeah, in that case I did smoke it. And what I experienced was...
Did I know sometime in the coming year Magic the Gathering is doing a Star Trek set? That's cool. I know they've done Doctor Who sets in the past that I liked the art for. Almost on a hype train.
Immediately, all the colours in the room, or one particular colour in the room, just popped out at me. I didn't realise the walls were painted this vibrant blue that just was so shocking. It was so intense. And I remarked on it at to the host at the party. But then I became aware that I could...
Wow, Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 25 tier 1 subs. You are so generous to the community and me. Thank you. Quasispec, thanks for 1,000 bits.
Listen to
89% to level 6 on the hype train. If you want to help keep it going, you can use bits or subs.
And follow 6 different separate conversations in the room at once. I knew what everyone was saying. It was like startling. I tested it as well, and indeed I knew what everyone was saying. And then
unironically, do people like this just not... what do they think drugs are? Why do they think people do drugs? Why do they literally go, I'm about to take this substance that's going to affect my brain, and then they take it, and it affects their brain, and go, whoa, what's happening? It must be spiritual. You knew you were going into this. You knew you were going to take the drug. You instigated this. Why are you confused? Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub and getting us over level 6 on the hype train.
A thought went across my mind. I wonder if everyone else is doing this. And the moment I had that thought, I got a flood of information. I had an experiment that I could perform to test that.
I really couldn't change the battery in that fire alarm before filming. It's actually his carbon monoxide detector. It's just been beeping randomly for years. Sure, it's fine.
Idea I had the results of that experiment. I had the implications of the results of that experiment. I had a talk that I could do based on that experiment. Literally all this information, instantly, the moment the thought flitted across my mind, right, just all in one package. And all I had to do then was actually just step through time and perform the experiment, knowing exactly.
You just have to step through time, man. This is making me want to watch The Big Lebowski, because The Big Lebowski is a stoner, but he's not crazy. I respect that man. Steve with a Q, thanks for gifting 5 Tier 1 subs. Sekhmet the Wise, thanks for 500 bits, says Hype Train. Thank you muchly.
What was going to happen, and indeed everything that I thought would happen actually happened. So yes, it was. I believe now is a glimpse of how living in a realm without time might be, again from the perspective of somebody
He gets really affected by weed.
who actually lives in a time.
Maybe this for the 420 stream. Oh, Reefer Madness, the musical. I do like that, and I love Alan Cumming, who is in that, but we probably can't watch that. That is definitely under copyright. It is the original film that is public domain, not the musical. The musical is still available to buy on Blu-ray and stuff, so.
Space, realm, but that idea that as soon as I had, I conceived of an idea, the whole thing existed, and I could see it and experience it. So the third cannabis journey was when I tried cannabis oil for the first time. It was only a little dab on the end of a matchstick, and for about an hour or so, nothing happened. So I'd written off the experience, just wasn't going to work for me again. But I was being driven home, and on the way back, I started feeling the thing coming on. And
oh, fuck. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. Did I mention Blu-rays? I must have. Hannah mentions Blu-rays.
I told the driver, things might get a little weird. And as she turned to me,
I said the musical is available on Blu-ray. I did.
It was,
I do not own that Blu-ray, though.
Like her head was huge, and her nose nearly hit me in the face. I was like, whoa! And everything just became exaggerated. I think we pulled over at one point, and it felt like we crashed. But I'd calmed myself down, and as I was looking out the windscreen, all of a sudden, everything blacked out. And then it came back, and it blacked out again, and it came back, and it...
Were you blinking?
Kept doing that, faster and faster.
It feels like he's probably blinking, and he's just too high to realize he's blinking. That's my guess. That's my hypothesis.
That's right. And until it was just flickering, and then it transitioned into smooth movement. What it told me was that was what reality was. It was like a series of 3D frames, like 3D dioramas, and in one instant there was one diorama. It would then collapse into nothingness, and an almost identical diorama would be presented to me, just slightly moved, as if it was like a 3D film strip. So that was shocking.
I really don't understand how he thinks people are supposed to listen to this and go, whoa, this guy's onto something, instead of being like, yeah, you were high. You seem very susceptible to THC. You were high. Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
The next cannabis journey I had was maybe the 5th or 6th. Was when I was working on a free energy device with...
I'm sorry, it's very funny to me that he knows the specific time he took weed, Like it's like the fifth experience.
A whole group of
It's very funny how much seriousness he's putting on, again, partaking in weed.
engineers.
Which isn't even a big deal in 2026. It's pretty common. It's legal in a lot of states. Lots of people use marijuana or THC products.
And one day we were quite close to finishing, and during a break, I was speaking to a group of the ladies that were part of the group, and they said that they were going to go on top of the hill and smoke some weed later on. So I had a bit of cannabis oil left, and I thought, well, I know it takes about an hour or so to kick in, so if I take a bit of oil now, by the time everyone's ready to go on top of the hill, then it would start kicking in. So that's what I did. So took some oil and went back to work with the rest of the engineers. And we were getting so close to finishing that somebody said, let's just carry on and see if we can finish this tonight. And I thought, oh shit, hopefully this wouldn't start kicking in until we finished. Unfortunately, it started kicking.
What does being British have to do with anything? It's illegal in Britain still. THC products, I think, are still illegal in Britin.
In.
Unless I'm just not familiar with some law change or anything, but I don't think it's legal in the UK.
And what happened?
I'm sure it's still all over the UK. I'm sure people smoke weed in the UK all the time, but I think it's illegal.
To me was, I saw a sequence of events play out over and over again. So the events were that we were ready to start the machine. So one of the engineers, Tivon, was on the dial, and he turned it up to its supposedly maximum rated speed, and nothing was happening.
Do I think he's high right now? I don't think so. If his tolerance is this low, I don't think he'd be functional to record a video if he was high. Ashley One Up says, I was going to develop a free energy machine, then I got high.
And one of the other engineers, Evans, was like, faster, faster. So Tivon turned it up faster than it ever should go, and the wheel basically glowed red and then white and exploded. And then the whole thing reset. And this time I was a few feet to the right, and the whole thing started again. Tivon started.
Dave should write this all in a book. He could call it Gullible's Travels.
Turning it up. Evans went faster, faster.
That was pretty good, Harold Ebelman.
The whole thing exploded, and this time everyone was killed apart from me, who was badly injured. Then it reset again, and I was literally in line with the machine. So when it exploded, everyone was killed apart from me, and I was uninjured. Then it reset again, and by this time it was like too much for me. I'd seen 3 explosions already, and I was like, no, got to get out of here. Then the cannabis spoke to me and said, you're afraid of death, aren't you, Dave?
The cannabis spoke to you?
And I was like, no, I'm not.
It's you! It's your brain! It's your brain! It's you!
No. So it said, choose the explosion then. So I went back into the room, and the whole sequence started again. But this time a little child from part of the group came in and stood in front of me. And the cannabis was like, what about now? This child's going to die. I thought, well, everyone's going to die in this scenario, so okay. And then my girlfriend came in, and it said, what about now? And it just kept raising the stakes until I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So the cannabis said,
Dave's drug brain reinvented the trolley problem. I have to pee real quick. While I do, Chair will tell you about the island. I own the island. Get your organ meat sack clone today. It's definitely real and not a cover for our cloning operation. All right, continuing.
Okay, well, choose a past and choose a future. And it felt like I was on this spot where what I'd call
graphic design is his passion. Just gonna leave this up for a second so we can all fully appreciate the graphic design that went into this. How did he look at this and he was like, yep, that's presentable. No notes.
Called the now, and there was a tree of paths sort of branching out from that point, and a tree branching out behind me as well. And I...
Did you know, like, we have, like, infinite possibilities, man? Like, every decision we make puts us on a different path, man. I've also seen Mr. Nobody, thank you. I'm familiar that your choices make a difference in your life. I'm aware. I didn't even need to do drugs to know that. Isn't that crazy?
I could go down any of these future paths and see what would transpire, and it would start fading out. And I could do the same with the past as well. And one of the futures, I think it was one of the pasts, was when Evan said "faster, faster." I threw my camera at him to try and stop it. But point is, I didn't know which part. When I came out of it, I didn't know which future or past I'd chosen. I had to actually ask my girlfriend at the time what actually happened, because I'd seen so many permutations. So what
was this pre-AI? No, he released this last month. So honestly, I'll give him some credit. I'll make fun of his bad graphic design, but he didn't choose to use AI for it, so I guess that's some points.
Actually happened was that...
I'll give him that.
Or the past and future I chose was that the free energy device burnt itself out, and that's what actually happened.
The fourth dimension. Dimensions beyond our own on the bingo card.
So the eighth cannabis journey was when I had a little bit too much cannabis oil for this one, and what I experienced was reality breaking apart in front of me, and I was being pushed into this alternate reality, which looked like the wire-framed version of this reality. So if there was a chair in front of me, as reality broke apart, I saw the wireframe mesh as if the chair was not rendered yet. And it looked more real than this.
All this is just the trailer. This is the teaser. Yes.
Reality.
There's about 9 more minutes left.
But I mistakenly characterized this reality as the inferior version of this reality. But I've come to realize now that it was actually the superior version. I believe it was...
How many views does this have? 5,179. He has 75,000 subscribers.
What I would now call the fourth dimension. It was where the ideas of what we call reality, began. So everything in this world begins as an idea, and that realm that I experienced was where those ideas come from. So each of these cannabis journeys gave me a nugget of information, easily digestible nugget of information that I was able to assimilate, and then I was ready for the next one. Sometimes it literally took years for me to actually assimilate the full depth of what he was trying to teach me. But eventually they all came together like a jigsaw puzzle and gave me this grand idea. But it's not...
To drink pee?
It's not like new knowledge. Well, it's new to me, but...
I think the greatest drug PSA against weed is that it convinced him that drinking pee was a thing he should do regularly. Can we put that, like, on posters in high schools? This man started smoking weed and it made him drink piss! And then there'll be a picture of him drinking his pee.
But it's not new knowledge, it's old knowledge. It's also knowledge of something that we all intuitively know, but we've forgotten.
Oh, we changed locations! We're in a car now! Gives the sense of things progressing. Things are moving forward.
So, we're on our way to...
I'm starting to think that a documentary where you sit in a chair most of the time and it's the same static shot isn't very thrilling.
Bournemouth to give the first ever talk. Well, actually, it's not technically the first ever version of this talk. I gave this talk once before, also in Bournemouth, as it turns out.
Is old knowledge the same as ancient wisdom? Yes. Yes, it is. Ancient wisdom.
But every time I give a talk, it's different because in between I get new information, not necessarily from a book or anything like that. Usually some kind of download or synchronicity. So it turns out there are two distinct ways of knowing something. There's a real way and a fake way. The fake way is where you get 2 or 3 bits of information and they're linked together by a story. That's the kind of logical way of knowing something. But the real way of knowing something is knowing something without knowing how you know it.
Oh my god, he's literally denigrating evidence-based, like, decision-making and a worldview based on evidence in lieu of one where you just get feelings and intuitions and that's a stronger form of knowledge? It's not even knowledge, it's just whims! What are you talking about?
Intuition. And intuition, you know, is this deep knowing.
What he is saying is basically tantamount to saying the things you should believe the most are the things you have the least evidence for, which is insane.
Deep sort of knowing that you can feel that is the right thing. So yeah.
Yeah, that's vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. Vibes-based conspiracy.
This is the sort of information. This is the information I've been getting, and it's just made the talk. It's actually transformed the talk into something else. It's like, an understanding of even how the Most High came about.
Present your evidence, Phoenix.
Yeah, get into that when I get into the talk.
Oh, nice, Elk Owl. Can I see your card? Take the URL at the top of the page. There you go. He copied it right in there. Flat Earth, Vibes-Based Conspiracy. Hannah mentions Blu-rays, Satanic, and Hannah mentions cheese. That will indeed do it. Elk Owl, you are the winner of the gift sub for the day. So I will write your name down, and you can let me know whenever you want that to go to yourself or someone else, okay? So we will still play bingo for fun. But we are done with the winner for today.
Hello, this is Dave. So what you've just seen is the intro to my latest project, which is a documentary. I'm trying to put together a documentary which is based on my latest talk. It's my favourite of all time talk to give, and I think it's actually the most important talk I've ever given, because it shows that we have the power. We have an immense amount of power in this world.
Did the weed tell you that?
That we've forgotten about. You know, it's not just that we've forgotten about, it's the memory of that power has been erased from us, and we're struggling along thinking that you know, we are helpless in the face of this utter evil in the world. But no, we're not. If we manage to remember who we are, we can banish this evil with no effort whatsoever.
Oh, there's the bug I saw earlier. It's not in my drink. We did it. We did it. See, there's evidence. There's the bug. Isn't that great?
We can literally change this world around us. The only problem is that I'm kind of struggling a bit because I've lost internet access. I've got very little, it's restricted somehow. Very little internet access, and I can't get to all the resources I need. I can't do the research I need to do. I can't download the media that I need to complete this, and I'm really struggling, and the project has now come to a halt. So I'm asking those that I've helped so far, all those people I've helped, if you wouldn't mind helping me to get this project back up and running. I'd really...
That's funny, because I've seen him in videos where he talks about money not being real, you know, like a lot of conspiracy theorists do, but now he's asking people for their fiat currency.
Appreciate it. I was thinking that if you actually donated via PayPal, I know you can send a message and I'd get your email address. What I could do is when the documentary is finished, I could release it early to you, maybe a month or so early, and you know, so you can see it and download it and whatever.
I think I'm good. I don't think I'm going to give Dave money, believe it or not. Probably got to do at least one more Artemis video, right? Let's do this one.
The whole entire Artemis 2 has been a colossal failure. Even people that are NASA fanboys and fangirls are realizing this is underwhelming even to them.
I've not heard anyone say that. I'm sure there are plenty of people who are underwhelmed, overwhelmed, neutral about the whole thing. But it feels like desperation from the flat earthers to try and make it seem like this isn't devastating for their worldview.
They expected much more than seeing a bunch of astronauts eating in space. What a complete joke. No video of the so-called ball Earth rotating. No video.
Do you think that you can see the Earth's the Earth rotates one time in 24 hours? Right? So it's moving as slowly as like an hour hand on a clock to do a rotation twice. So you would need a long time lapse. Just saying. I've seen multiple flat earthers say this. They're like, why can't we see the Earth turning? Only still images. Even if you were literally in the spaceship, you wouldn't be able to visibly see the Earth turn once you're like directly going away from it and no longer like going around it or anything in orbit.
Of airplanes landing upside down in Australia. All we
How
have
long until re-entry? I think it's the next hour or two. Don't know the exact time.
Is this garbage footage of the so-called astronauts eating in space. What a complete joke. I cannot emphasize it enough. Now, this is huge. With all the research I've done and all the videos I've made over the years, this is going to bust the so-called pass-by Artemis 2 as 100% fake. And the problem with liars is they can't keep their lies straight. They're not consistent with what they put out. And obviously this is a recent image just from a few days ago of Artemis 2 and the so-called...
One who reads says, it's clear that money isn't real means it's a social construct with no objective existence. Yeah, but that's true for all forms of currency. So what the fuck do they want? That's true of gold as well. Like, it's collectively decided that it's valuable, and people desire it for something, therefore it has value. I don't get it. I don't understand them.
flyby
Just because something is a social construct doesn't make it fake.
of the moon.
Social constructs are kind of like one of humanity's main things, is that we develop these systems that allow us to operate within societies together.
And so the so-called ball Earth, as you see here, appearing as the moon with the shadow. It's like a duality aspect from people on Earth seeing.
Or it's just a shadow on the moon because the moon is here and it's blocking some of the light.
The moon as a crescent.
No, it wouldn't be that. I'm sorry. It's just because the
Earth as a crescent
rotation
as well.
is the
That
way
gets
that
into
it
this.
is. Brain fart.
For those that remember, 2 years ago, I made a video on iSpace, the so-called privately run space program that's operated by this individual here, Tanishi Hakamada. And nothing but mockery with what he says here in this clip I'll show later. But this is the real mockery right here. This image, so-called pass by the moon from 2 years ago, looks nothing like what Artemis 2 is presenting. Not even close.
Okay.
The people running NASA.
Do you think that every photo is the same? Even if they're of the same celestial objects? It's going to depend on the camera, on where they are, on the focal length. It's going to be different depending on a variety of variables.
The CGI creators, the AI creators, they need to collaborate closer with those in Japan faking space as well. They look nothing alike. Give me a break. How people are blind to the reality of fake space.
Yeah, I'm confused by this claim. I'm very confused that he even expects very different photos to look the same.
The individual.
Yeah, doesn't know how cameras work on the bingo card. Doesn't know how cameras work.
Throughout the world faking space. They're working all together. We'll get more of that. But this is 100% proof. Cannot have two images so far off.
For Emily 4 says, perfectly timed for my life. I had to leave my brother's house shortly after they tried to argue with me that the moon landing was fake. Oh, that's a shame. That sucks.
Of the so-called pass-by of the moon. Not even close. And that gets into the name itself of iSpace. Just like the iPhone, it's always the occultic angle with these people propped up in this world. It's all about the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. So again, it's all about the occult, the hidden, in plain sight. And that gets into this.
I don't think so. I don't think so, sir. I think you're doing, a little bit of a reach.
This clip that I played again 2 years ago. Take a look here and take a listen.
This first image, Hakamada-san, look at it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful and then very incredible.
So we have here is again Hakamada-san and taking a page out of Elon Musk's book here. When Elon Musk once stated, you know it's real because it looks so fake. Let's get right to it.
Doesn't this look amazing?
Well, this is
For
real
Emily
video.
4, thanks for following.
It's not CG. No, it's amazing.
And Hakamada-san states this is real video, not CZ, referring to CGI. So just again, they're all in the same club, and how they love to mock the masses in plain sight. And that gets into this. This is a presentation in Europe, in Luxembourg, and how this European Space Agency is working with iSpace with the transportation aspect and this mini rover. But let's get right to it. You're going to hear this individual, 30 years in the so-called space industry. Her name is Geraldine Nadja. She's going to be introduced by this individual, and take a listen to what is said here by her. She's been, again, in the space industry for 30 years. So all these people at the top, they know obviously what they're doing. They're faking space. Let's get right to it. And truth in plain sight, as I said many times, with all the lies, they have to give us the truth. This is a aspect of duality taking place.
Geraldine Nadja, Director of Commercialization at ESA, and then Marc Serres, CEO of the Luxembourg Space Agency.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. We provide telemetry and tracking, which is essential infrastructure for lunar exploration operations. So we are very happy for that. I would like also to say that this is a very good example of how we can support new space actors in Europe.
And you can clearly hear her say how we can support new space actors in Europe. The mockery.
Yes, not actors as in people who perform for money, but actors as in people who do something. Again, I find it very interesting when conspiracy theorists act like words don't have different meanings in different contexts.
Never ends with these individuals. Give me a break. And talking about actors, here they are. Supposedly aboard the Artemis 2 in space when they're down on Earth in some studio, and the question of viewing stars from space is brought up. What does this remind you? Of course, back in 1969 with Apollo 11, when these astronauts were asked the same question. This is definitely made to happen.
Trey says, I know it's the whole fascism thing of our enemy is incredibly powerful but also easily defeated, but I want to really ask these people why they personally think that the evil cabal of cannibalistic space fakers lack the ability to just out-and-out lie. Many of them believe that it's sort of a cosmic rule of the universe and that these people are working for Satan, and they think that there's some sort of magical, metaphysical truism that says in order for them to commit evil against the population, they need to inform them, but that information can be hidden, basically. So they think it's a loophole. They think that they're hiding things, quote, in plain sight as a way to allow them to commit evil in the first place, because they think if they out and out lie about it, they can't do it. I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's what many of them believe. They think it's basically a metaphysical law.
Happen. Let's get right to it, and I'll break it all down.
I wonder, do you still see stars in outer space?
Coolest part of those stars is they do not twinkle at all. They are just perfect. They almost look fake.
And you just heard Reed Wiseman say the stars do not twinkle and how they almost look fake, but there's a little bit of a blip in the audio. I'll play that again. I'm not sure what's going on here. Done by NASA, or just so happened to happen when he says the word fake. Let's play that one more time.
They're just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect pin.
And there you go. He's talking about seeing the stars. They go on to say how you can see the stars sometimes when there's light from Earth. It's hard to see and so forth. But let's get here. What does this remind you of with this interview again from Apollo 11, supposedly right after? And let's get right to it.
When you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics.
Yeah, because it's so bright. It's daytime on that part of the moon. Do you see the stars in daytime on Earth? It's the same thing. Like, do you not understand this? You even said it about the other crew, that you said that they said that it depends on how much light is visible at the time, because if it's really bright in their field of vision, you can't see the stars.
I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see. I don't remember seeing any. Neil, you were...
And you saw that by Neil Armstrong. You can almost see it like he's nudging Michael Collins here, like, hey, you're not supposed to say that. Then he whispers something. You can see it right here. I
think he's just getting him to answer the question because they're on a Q&A thing and he didn't answer.
Comes out of his mouth. And then he nods over to Buzz Aldrin that continues on with the questioning like this wasn't supposed to happen. Nonetheless, with these three goons on stage, they look very uncomfortable. They're trying to get their story straight.
They don't look uncomfortable.
They don't look...
They might look a little tired, but they just got done, you know, being the first people to go to the moon. So I'd be a little tired, too.
Excited or happy after supposedly accomplishing something so monumental. They're just so focused on getting their lines right, trying not to screw up.
Ashran, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says Cope, Moon Joy.
But again, the topic of the stars, and that gets back, obviously, to what I showed earlier. The 2 images from Artemis 2, no stars. And of course,
I think there's another image where there are. It depends upon the lighting conditions.
from iSpace, no stars.
Yeah, because the photo is exposed so you can see the Earth and the lunar surface illuminated. If you exposed it for the stars, the Earth and the moon would be blown out in the image.
Of course, the reason is to align the stars perfectly how they should be. In all the images supposedly captured from space, they just omit them. It makes it so much easier than put them in precise locations. But nonetheless, when it comes down to it, it's very obvious, like I'm highlighting here. The 2 images captured by Artemis 2 NASA in iSpace do not match whatsoever. They can't.
They're not even pictures of the same location on the moon. Why do you expect it to look identical?
Keep their lies straight. That's the big problem. Nothing about what they're doing is legit. It's just people that want to believe the fantasy, because the fantasy is always better than the reality.
All right, what's next? Let's see what we can get out of this video. This is another one with Kia Pruitt and the weird conspiracy guy. That's about 12 minutes long. This might be the last video we do for the day, so let's check it out and see what strange theories they have this week.
Kelly wants to know if you can comment on the big lawsuit in Texas. It's a property lawsuit to have no more property taxes. Have you heard of that?
Seems like she's become my new favorite. Mostly the people she brings on. I don't find her that interesting, but she brings on really kooky people.
I haven't heard of that, but I have heard in several states around this country that same thing is happening. You know, it started in Florida with DeSantis talking about getting rid of the HOAs and the property taxes. And then it just started going and trickling to other places. And it's happening all over the country. And now they're talking about the same with the DMV, that you're not going to have to actually have a driver's license anymore.
No one is saying that.
Because you always had a right to travel. Okay. Traveling is a right.
Sovereign citizen bullshit. It's not Sovereign Citizen Day.
Driving is a privilege. So now your rights are being restored.
Break down the 2. Traveling is a right. Driving's a privilege. What's the difference?
Is a privilege.
No, it's not Sovereign Citizen Day.
Then they said you got to work a 40-day week, a 40-hour work week, because it's a trial period. You remember what I told you about?
No, I gotta
tax
go back.
return? What is that? Take the zeros out. 40 tax return. What is it? Right? Then they had you filling out a 1040 tax return. What is that? Take the zeros out.
1 plus 4, 41.
No, 1040. Take the zeros out.
14, sorry.
14.
Wait, 10, 40.
Take
14.
the zeros out. You got a 14.
Okay.
Everything has been that.
What is the significance of 14 to you?
Then they said you got to work a 40-day week, a 40-hour work week. Because it's a trial period. You remember what I told you about 40? 40 means a trial period. 40 like Jesus was.
What are you talking about? The 40-hour work week was something that was fought for by unions and labor organizers. What are you talking about? Chitara says, numerology on tax forms. I mean, that's cool and all, but you still got to pay your taxes, sir and madam. Make sure you do your taxes.
Was in the wilderness for 40 days.
I think they're due soon.
Noah on the ark 40
in like
days,
5
40
days.
Nights. Then you have Moses misleading his people for 40 years. And then there was even 40 years between the death of Martin Luther King and the rise of Barack Obama, 68 to 2008. It's a trial period. That's why the longest highway through the United States is I-40. It's a trial period. That's why they're changing the work week from 40 hours a week, and now they're talking about 3 days. I mean, no, you work 4 days a week and 3 days off. Everything's being changed.
All this sounds like Nassar. You know why I keep bringing up that all of this sounds like Nassar? No taxes, no property taxes, reduction in work week, doing away with the IRS, all of that, reclaiming the land. All of that is implicated in the National Economic Security Reformation Act. Yet when I say that this is real, while most of people believe it, you have some that's like, that's crazy. It's not happening. And I'm like, why is it that I can see it, you can see it, but some people don't see, even when
you guys are crazy. Glad I could clear that up.
Explain it. I'm like, this is it.
This is it.
They don't have to call it the National Economic Security Reformation Act.
So you really are going to be witnessing the transition in wealth.
Okay.
Either by that March 22nd date or by April the 1st. It's somewhere in there. I guarantee you.
Really?
I really do guarantee that. Because they have to.
When did he say?
22nd date. Or by April the 1st. It's somewhere.
Oh no, we're on April 10th. He was wrong. How dare he?
In there. I guarantee you.
Oh no, his guarantee. He guaranteed it.
I really do guarantee that. Because they have.
I'm starting to mistrust this man.
To shift everything. They have to.
Yep, Jesus fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Absolutely.
40 days and 40 nights is an idiom that's used in the Bible a lot that basically means a really long time.
And Michael Jackson...
It doesn't necessarily literally mean 40 days and 40 nights. I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a Jewish idiom that basically meant a long time.
This is it.
This is it.
So...
That's why it also appears in the Noah story.
You said they have to... And March is a war month. Is there anything else significant about March? M-A-R-C-H.
My birthday.
I just know, I think it was my son that told me it was a war month. Yeah, because he turned the M upside down as wars or war. March 4th, which was just yesterday, that was the lawful inauguration date for the Republic, for presidents on the Republic. But March is very, very significant.
Yeah, but that's also when we had to march on Washington.
Really?
March. We marched on Washington. You know, to end, we had to end it. And things happen.
Fucking homonyms, man. They'll get you every time.
You know, over a period of decades.
Okay.
A period of years, a period of months, a period of, weeks, and a period of days. That's how this is the whole cycle we're on. Okay. And once you start seeing that, the Farrakhan used to call it Ezekiel's wheel. And once we see that wheel, it's nothing but a clock. And once you start understanding how that clock rotates, where it stops and where it goes, then you can kind of catch these patterns that I've been talking about. But we're in a good position, a real good position. Because
so somebody, yes.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
No,
you can wait. Well, no, somebody had asked in the comments, what are sleeper cells? Because I said they're activating sleeper cells. And also there have been some discussion about sleeper cells being activated now that President Trump is fighting against the deep state. Do you have an answer?
Deep state on the bingo card. Now Trump is fighting against the deep state. Don't you guys think he's been fighting the deep state for like a decade? Whatever.
I can give my thoughts on that. But do you have an answer?
Yours. All I can say is this. You're going to hear about a lot of sleeper cells and a lot of distractions. Okay? The distractions are simply just to make you look or think one way while everything else is being restored to you. Similar to how they were talking about those hotels over in Dubai were being caught on fire.
Yes.
From the explosions and all that other stuff, which was collateral damage from the Iran war, right? People who are actually over in Dubai said, we haven't seen no fires over there.
They sure have.
Nothing.
Hasn't it literally been a piece of online discussion that Dubai is actively punishing influencers or people who post on social media about the damage happening because of the war?
Going on over there.
I've literally seen videos about this.
They sure have said that.
And all y'all seeing is fake news.
Because Dubai depends on tourism.
Right? So it's a distraction to keep you looking at this fake war.
I shouldn't say depends on. They want to be a tourist mecca.
While we're restoring some stuff over here. Because we're still bringing down some stuff over here.
Okay.
Keep your eye on the whole Jesse Jackson actual funeral, which is on Saturday. And they're going to be having a lot of dignitaries from all over the world showing you that God's covenant is to, include all people of the world, all colors of the rainbow. See, this thing ain't just about us. It is about us, but it ain't just about us because, God is putting us in place to, I guess, kind of manage the world, manage it, maybe even run it, right? But we're not trying to just say, oh, we just control every damn thing and the hell with the rest of y'all, because we're managing from a place of love and a place of peace and a place of truth and a place of freedom and a place of justice. So therefore, there you go. So it's not like we're trying to do how they did at all. This is a whole different type of management. You remember now,
we're not doing racial supremacy. We're doing sparkling racial better than yoursism.
What's the mountaintop? The 411. That's why Mary J. Blige's first album was called What's the 411? It's the mountaintop because you're going into a world of real love.
Real love.
Right?
Yes.
That's the 411.
Come on with the 411 with the information. So sleeper cells, those are small groups of agents or people who infiltrate a target organization.
Why did she have to Google this? Didn't she already used the word? She's the one that said there were sleeper cells. Why did she need to Google it? You used it in a sentence already. Did you not know what it meant when you said the sentence? I'm very confused.
A target place, a target country.
You used a word in a sentence that you didn't know the meaning of and couldn't explain it. How do you even do that?
A target location. So these are small groups of people, or it can even be an individual that's sent into a place to cause harm. They operate in deep cover and often over years or for years to avoid detection by intelligence agencies. So a lot of people that are a part of sleeper cells, there are individuals that may be under MK Ultra mind control, people, individual or people, and then at the right time, they're triggered to go into a location or to go into an organization. And then once they're activated, they do.
I've seen Zoolander. You don't need to explain it to me.
Things to alleged they can do things to like hurt people. They can do things to steal the information. But some of the sleeper cells that's been activated in the schools were individuals that were under deep state mind controlling programs, and then they might be triggered through technology or given a certain code word that would just set them off and they would shoot up schools. This is why some people say remove yourself from large crowds or remove your children. Chief Rod Hayes has said from the schools, but because he said they were going to activate sleeper cells, and here we are.
Wow. blaming school shootings on sleeper
also
agents.
Do
Very
they
Alex Jones of them.
Already announced today that Iran is going to start coming here. Their soldiers or whatever they're going to do, I don't know. But they're talking about going into people's homes to remove them.
Wait.
I'm sorry, what? You think that Iran is capable of doing a ground invasion of the United States? They don't know how anything works. They don't know how anything works. Wow. Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
To remove Americans?
United States citizens.
United States citizens. You know, it's interesting how you have some news that can make you upset and make you worried. You know, that's bad news, obviously. Then you have some news like what I reported to my private group some days ago that Iran reported, I'm talking about the government, that their markets are open to American business.
Isn't that something?
Uh-huh.
But I guess what I'm saying to you is, and as long as people...
Chitara says even more powerful nations aren't capable of performing a successful ground invasion of the U.S. I'd say they can't be stupid enough to believe this, but yeah, America, for those that don't know, the United States, would be a very difficult country to do a ground invasion of. We have lots of security, people have guns, geographical stuff is all over the fucking place, like, stuff changes radically depending on what part of the country you're in. You wouldn't be able to maintain a foothold at all. Like, it would be insane. Like, what's that movie? Red Dawn? Red Dawn is not gonna happen. Red Dawn is a film.
And when you listen to Trump talk, you listen to J.D. Vance talk, listen carefully how they keep on going back and forth with saying U.S. citizens and Americans. They're letting you know there is a distinct difference.
Okay.
When they say U.S. citizens, they're talking about colonists, those who came here illegally, right? And they are the descendants of those, you know, who stole land, who raped, who pillaged, and everything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the descendants. We are not those. We are the American people.
Right, right.
Once we understand that there is a difference, then you can hear how he's talking and who he's talking to.
See?
He's not talking to you when he says U.S. citizen, but you've been indoctrinated to think that your entire life. But you're not. Think about it. He added the A back to U.S., meaning make America great again. So he added USA instead of U.S.
What?
U.S. is 40. U is 21, S is 19. That's 40. But when you add the A,
41.
41.
I don't... These people are fascinating, but they genuinely frustrate me. They just don't understand how anything works. All right. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. I appreciate ya. I'll be back tomorrow. Not sure what we're going to do tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll find something fun. Appreciate your company. Appreciate you guys hanging out and watching weird stuff with us. It's always fun. Let's see who we're going to raid. What's online VCR doing?
Don't you see? It's not
soap opera. Does anyone have any channels that they would like me to raid? Raid NASA? Sure, why not? They doing their thing right now with the landing or with the crash down? Sure. They already have 148,000 viewers, but let's give them a few more. Alright. See y'all tomorrow. Have a great night. I'm gonna go see if I can scrounge some tacos together. Good night, everyone.